Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Talent Finders would like to welcome CEO Global Executive Search Liz Capants. So, welcome, Liz.
Thank you, Karen. Great to be here.
So, Liz, I want to congratulate you on all your achievements. Can you share with us how your entrepreneurial journey started?
Yes, I have always been very self-motivated, and I stepped into the recruitment and search business. I working for another organization, and then launched this practice in 2008, really as a way to improve on the process in hiring, in talent, finding people. So my goal was to create a better environment for search, human resources, and hiring.
Amazing. So, as the president and founder of Global Executive Search, EBC Associates and Networking Group, can you please share with the audience what the company does for those who don't know?
Yes, absolutely. So EBC is a global retained search. That means that we go and headhunt. We do a lot of consulting, advisory work, and then we go and headhunt and find people for those roles. And we're also involved in post-hire, employee development, retention strategies. And the networking group really organically grew through my search business. If I didn't have an exact job match for a candidate, I would broker an introduction to help get them in front of a company to find either consulting or permanent work. And then 3 years ago, when we hit the pandemic, it accelerated the need to network. And I think people saw the importance of networking more than previous to this craziness we've had the past few years. So
Yes.
it's a unique model with the search, direct mandates, and then helping refer and get candidates in front of companies.
Amazing. And it's so niche and specialized, but it's definitely very well needed. So, as an entrepreneur, it is far from glamorous and it comes with many challenges. So, can you share with us what some of your biggest lessons and learnings have been within your career? And maybe you've had multiple, but what really stands out for you?
Yes, I think it is challenging, no doubt, especially as a woman business owner. Over the years, all of the things that we put up with, the setbacks, truly it's the resilience and grit and keeping that determination and focus going. Not always easy, Karen, but it's essential, especially as a business owner. But it is a lot of days I kind of go in and, expect the unexpected, because things change so much in business and the landscape of business and hiring. And especially right now, just given the economy in the market, there's a lot of uncertainty. But then the other side, there's a lot of companies looking for talent and struggling to find people. But it is keeping that that focus and that grit and resilience really going
Yeah,
is
absolutely. And also creates opportunity, right? So, even as challenging as it is, there's also room for opportunity.
yes, absolutely.
So,
Yep.
I want to talk about leadership or the lack of leadership from both an entrepreneurial and global scale or perspective. So, what do you believe needs to change the current narrative in terms of leadership on both fronts?
Yeah, great question. My 2 cents, for what it's worth, leaders have to, I think it's especially important now to engage and to allow their employees to be creative and to have that independence and that autonomy in
Yes.
the corporate environment. I see too many situations where they're not given that, and that really does limit their work, their productivity, their creativity. As an entrepreneur myself, and being a leader and kind of setting those examples and inspiring other people that are thinking of becoming an entrepreneur, starting their own business. So it's important to motivate and keep your employees, if you're on the corporate side, allow them to to work independently, as long as they are being productive and hitting the goals and objectives in what they're doing. unfortunately, I don't see that as often as I would like.
Yes. So, talking about leadership or expanding upon that, what do you believe makes your leadership style different? And what do you believe sets you apart from others in your area of expertise? And can you give us any examples?
Yeah, so leading by example, Karen, and just supporting others through either a job search or maybe it's a business looking for a business opportunity. My whole philosophy and mission is always to pay it forward and
Yes.
to understand how I can help that other person, what resources, learn about their business. And once you establish that foundation, and that trust with that person, business has a way of evolving, and people look to you for other resources. And I've seen myself over the years, my business has really grown very rapidly by just doing the right thing, paying it forward, seeing how I can potentially be a resource. People don't forget, and then they come back when they need something from me or maybe a business opportunity. So it goes full circle.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you did touch on this earlier, but as we've all come out of a very challenging 3 years, what are some of the tools and skills you use to pivot, and how has your business and the industry evolved and changed? And do you think it is still evolving? And from a mental health perspective, how did this affect you both professionally and personally? And how did you apply any of these skills to your current clients? And can you give us any examples? So I know that's quite a lot in one, but
It's all good. I'll start with, so the first question around, I believe it was around pivoting, Karen, is that right?
yeah. So
Pivoting and
just,
finding,
like
yeah,
obviously since the pandemic happened, what are some of
yeah.
the tools and skills you've used to pivot your business?
Yeah, so many people have had to make that pivot. I think we've all taken this crash course in pivoting, Karen, in
Yes.
over the past few years.
More than once.
More than once. But the good news is that when you look at careers and people, on average, I read this stat recently. It's people can have, say, four to five different careers over the course of their lifetime. So to pivot to something, it really boils down to my 2 cents, and for what it's worth here is really having the desire and motivation to understand what your passions are and your interests lie. Because once you find that in your career, in life, business, it's a game changer. So really understanding, and I know a lot of people just given the past few years had a reset and had to pivot, or maybe they started something they were thinking about for many years but had never really put the time into pursuing it, right? So
Yes.
this recent few years, I think, accelerated that for some people that had wanted to do something, and many did pivot very successfully.
Yeah.
And are continuing to thrive in consulting or business, or it's a whole new career. So it boils down to just the understanding the passion and the motivation to go for that. The other piece, just to add in that pivoting piece, Karen, is also having, which has been instrumental for me, is really having the network to help support you in that transition.
Yes.
So that you feel like you have the support of a team. Once you build and have a great vetted network, that really becomes your sales team and can help support in any adjustment or transition that you may have had to make. So, yeah.
Yes. And then from a mental health perspective, how did that affect you both professionally and personally through that period? And are there any skills that you applied, which you now apply to your current clients? And if you can give us any examples.
Yeah, for me, I staying very focused, and I have a natural resilience to my personality, Karen. I
Yes.
I thank my parents for that, but it was extraordinary times, of course, that were so unusual. Just really staying focused was my approach. Staying focused, staying positive as we were able to, which was not always easy, And again, I think corralling and bringing others together to keep the motivation, keep the support during that time, and pivot or restructuring business or going in a new direction. So I would say focus and bringing people together for that community support.
Yeah, and that was so very important. So EBC Associates and Eruditus Networking Group has 4 core focuses. So human capital, executive search, career coaching, and branding referral networks and social impact, which are all obviously very relevant and critical in this current landscape. So can you share with us more about this and what influenced
Yeah.
you to lead your focus in these 4 critical areas?
Yeah, great question. So I would say to start, my role in the recruiting and search and human capital business over the years, Karen, has expanded. So my role has become more strategic with a number of my clients where I'm helping with the hiring aspect. And I also do some HR advisory work, salary benchmarking, performance evaluations, things of that nature. So my role has been gradually expanding just over the past, I'd say, 6 or 7 years. And through that expansion, bringing in other resources to my clients as needed. For example, it might be a financial, a CFO, part-time CFO that a business might need. It might be somebody to help with marketing or payroll. So building these additional resources through my network that I can offer to my clients has really expanded the whole suite of services.
Yes.
And been very beneficial. The network group also has a give back philanthropically. So through my networking group, if we're able to offer a donation and or do volunteer work, right now we support 3 nonprofits and looking to build on that this year. So it all kind of ties into that bigger picture, pay it forward.
Yes, and that's so important is the give back
Yeah.
as well, for sure.
Yeah.
You've worked within a diverse number of industries internationally and in the US market. So do you think this has given you an advantage within your own industry now?
Yes, absolutely. I grew up overseas, as you know, Karen,
Yes.
and was yeah, had the opportunity to travel a lot, experience different cultures. As a child, that's not easy to do, but as an adult, it's especially running my business, it's really served me well. Understanding other cultures, can you talk?
Yes.
Ways of doing business. And I do work with a lot of organizations that are based outside the US looking to expand here. And that a lot of that is around educating them
Yes.
on ways of doing business, salary expectations, all of that. So they will typically join my network to have an into the market, into the community, and then when they're ready to hire, I help them staff and find employees. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So alongside your own business, you are involved in various associations. So how did this come about, and can you elaborate on any of that?
Yeah, I know I keep using the word organic, so apologies,
No, I
Karen.
mean, but for some people, that's just how it is.
Yeah. So through my network and just through people that I met or people that had been referred to me, various opportunities have come up over the years to help expand the network, to give back. So I work with a number of nonprofits in a mentorship advisory capacity. Another one, we do a lot of events and fundraising for, ways to also volunteer, encourage others to give back if they're able to. And it's just been a key growth part of meeting other people. I'm WeBank certified, the Women Business Enterprise National Council here in the US. So supporting other women business owners is always a priority to me whenever and however I can. And Entrepreneurs Organization, part of their organization here in Manhattan. So all of these opportunities just have expanded my footprint and my core business. So
it's amazing. And it's just the expansion of network as well. It's just amazing, through all of these.
yeah.
So what would you say some of your biggest career highlights have been thus far? So, or maybe again, there's been multiple, but is there anything that really
Yeah.
stands out for you?
Yeah, great question again. I would say I'm most proud of the fact of the business that I built. And when I fell into recruiting and started with the previous firm before I launched my own practice, it was one of these careers that I just never looked back. And for
Yes.
me, it's just a very natural connecting with other people when I can make a really great match and have an impact on that business and see the results. It's the most rewarding piece of my business when a new hire, I do a lot of niche roles, hard to find roles. And when you can have that impact on an organization and really contribute to their growth because of that hire, that is most rewarding. I also do some business to business brokering. So introducing two businesses that might be looking to merge or acquire or partner.
Mm.
So that's again very rewarding if a business is looking for another line of business to grow their revenue. So I'll do a lot of that business to business introduction too. So yeah.
Amazing. So that leads me to the final question. So, what are the three key pieces of advice you would give to other entrepreneurs, and how would you like to be remembered, or what legacy would you like to leave?
Yeah. So to entrepreneurs, I would strongly advise to focus, be very focused, resilience and grit. We talked about that, I know, earlier in the discussion, Karen. And thirdly, is the importance of the network, because if
Yes,
you are starting or considering a new business or a solopreneur, it can be isolating if you start out and you're trying to get your website up and running and you're trying to at the same time bring in money and bring in business. When you build and have that network to support you through that, it really acts as your sales team to
yes.
help you grow the business. So rather than trying to go solo, really that team and that network has been so key. So I would say those are the three things for anyone considering entrepreneurship. And I'm sorry, I forgot the second part
And
of the
then
question.
what legacy, or how would you like to be remembered?
I think just basically keeping the human touch in recruitment. We're in a people
Yes,
business, it's human capital. And right now, there's a lot of automation. I'm sure you've seen all the chat GPT and all the AI technology, which is
yes.
great. But at the end of the day, we're
But we
dealing with
lose that
yeah,
connection.
yes. So I really strive and have maintained keeping that people connection. It might just be a very simple act of a quick phone call or an email, and people remember. So that
Yes.
is what I would like my legacy to be.
Amazing. Well, thank you for joining us today. So, if people would like to connect with you, what are the best platforms or best ways to contact you?
Yep. So LinkedIn, all my contact is there, or directly on my website or email. You can find me, all my contact info there. So
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. And hopefully, we can have you back in the future to see where you are in your journey. And thank you for joining us.
oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.